Hello, St. Philip Lutheran Church. We are excited for this weekend, having the opportunity to be able to worship with us online, live, in person, here at church. Whether you're going to be worshiping with us in the courtyard or in the parking lot, I want to be able to take an opportunity to kind of show you what that's going to look like a little bit and walk you around and see how we are going to do worship here in person, because it is going to be different. We're going to be socially distanced. We're going to be wearing masks. There's going to be people worshiping in their cars in the parking lot. There's going to be people worshiping here in their own lawn chairs in the courtyard. So come, walk with me and let me show you what worship is going to look like and where people are going to be. So as you arrive into worship, you're going to come through this entrance over here on the north side. You're going to be greeted by one of our hospitality team members where they are going to ask you, where are you going to worship with us this day? Are you going to worship in our parking lot right here? Or are you going to worship with us here in the courtyard, closer in person, where you're going to bring your own lawn chair? What they're also going to do is give you the elements of Holy Communion. They're individual cups with wafers in them, and so we won't be passing those out during the service, but that hospitality team member will have a mask and gloves, and so they will safely distribute those elements to you, where you will keep those until you're instructed to take communion at that time. We will have cones out here in the parking lot to show where you should park. So we have an FM transmitter to where you're going to be instructed to tune into a radio station where you can hear worship inside your car. You can worship right outside your car in a lawn chair or the back of your car if you would like as well. But we ask that if you are outside of your car, that you do have a mask on. So if you decide to worship in the park or in the courtyard with us, you are going to be right here with us. Now you see we've got some football lines. Yep, that is our social distancing areas where we will have people worshiping or they'll put their lawn chairs on these lines. They are 10 feet apart, so you are at least 8 feet from other people who are worshiping with us this weekend. Now, we are asking that you bring your own lawn chairs, and we'll have people in 3 different sections seated in lawn chairs, and we'll have another member of the hospitality team who will help you to make sure that we are socially distanced and that we are worshiping with masks on as well. So we will have our set up here with Pastor Randy and I, or a deacon, assisting minister, to be able to lead us in worship. We'll have Brian, our pianist, organist, and a cantor as well. Now, what is worship going to look like? It's going to be different. It's not going to look like what it was when we were in the sanctuary before. We are not supposed to be singing. So we ask that if you do know the hymns, if you do know the refrains, that maybe you hum along or you sing to yourself, but you're not vocally singing, we will have that cantor representing us by singing for us during that time. We're also asking that you do not do the call and response. We're trying to limit that in the service so that you're not tempted as much to do that call and response, like "the Lord be with you." You know how hard it's going to be to not say "and also with you." So we're asking that you do not have those responses. We're trying to be as safe as possible, especially as cases continue to rise in Colorado, but we think it's so important for us to have this opportunity to worship together. So throughout the next couple of weeks, we're going to start teaching you some sign language of some of those responses so that we can worship together and that you can still have that participatory part of worship. So the first one that we're going to introduce this week is Amen. It's pretty simple. You put your hand out, you go like this, make your kind of a thumbs up and hit your hand down. This is Amen. So we are going to be participating in those different ways. Now, Saturday night crew, we are so glad to be worshiping on Saturday evening at 5:30 p.m. and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. But Saturday night is going to be different. After long conversations with our musicians, with our leadership, we have chosen to not do Holden evening prayer because it is based around so much singing, which is beautiful and we love it. But we thought that we need to change that service because of how much singing there is in that service. So we're going to be playing with that a little bit. It is, for this week, going to look like our Sunday morning worship services. So it'll be very similar to that on Saturday evening. So our Saturday evening and Sunday morning worship service will be very similar. So what we do hope and know that you have that expectation for when you come, that you know it will be different than our normal Saturday evening Holden prayer. I hope you do, if you feel comfortable, that you do join us for worship. We're excited to be back in person. If you are going to worship with us online, we will be live streaming it on Zoom, and it will be our same Zoom account that we're using for everything, for communion, for prayer, for many of our meetings. So join us. We will get that info out to you, but join us live. If you feel comfortable and taking some risk and joining us in worship with us in the parking lot, worship here in the courtyard, but please bring a mask, and we ask that you be respectful in social distancing. We know how hard that may be for people who you haven't seen for a while, but please do that so that we can continue to offer a safe place for people to worship where they are comfortable doing so. We're excited to be here. We're excited to see you, whether it be in person or live. So may God bless you, and may we come and worship this weekend in whatever form that may be, online or in person. Thank you, and we will look forward to worship services this weekend, again in person and live at 5:30 p.m. Saturday evening or Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We'll see you soon.